but the book is meant for anybody that's ever faced struggle in their life, physical or cognitive. It's for young, it's for old. It's to give a different perspective or my perspective on how to maybe handle challenges when they're in front of you, right?
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. What works for me doesn't work for everybody else. For years, I've been doing my job right now for 23 years, okay? And people have said to me, you know what, Phil, you inspired me. You changed my life, you know? You helped me so much. Like about 30% of the people that come to me know exactly what they want to do in life, okay? And about 70% need some guidance and nurturing. And I have a gift that was passed down to me from my mother, and that's to be able to read people. I could bring a friend over and she'd look at him for 1 second. And she'd say, that's a bad person. 2 years later, she was right. That person turned out to be a bad person. I have a gift for being able to find people's strengths, extrapolate them, and align them with careers that will make them independent. So that's how I've succeeded as a career counselor.
Hmm.
As a, when I worked as a social worker, I was empowering. The wheelchair is a tool in itself. Okay. So whenever and it still happens to this day. Okay. I just ignore it. It's white noise, but people stare at you in the wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
If I just want to go back a little bit because this strongly relates to what I'm trying to articulate now. The first time my brother ever took me out of rehab to go to a mall, and I still had the steel cage on my head. All I could see was people staring at me, and I was freaked out, right? It was around Christmas time, and there was this family staring at me, and the kids saying to their parents, "Ooh, look at him, what's wrong with him?" Blah, blah, blah. And I remember saying to my brother, "Take me back to rehab. I'm never fucking going out again," right?
Yeah.
He came back, and this is the humor of our family, dry humor. Came back the next week and had a big black sweater and a huge white lettering. It said, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And he said, "We're going back to the mall." Right?
Yeah.
My wheelchair is a tool to empower others often. Okay? They look at it and they think, wow, he can do it. He's talking from experience, right?
Hmm.
I want to empower people. I want to help people. I want to help them reach their goals, right?
Yeah.
I think that's my purpose in life. I think that's why I'm in a chair, right?
It's funny because like I try to constantly come back to love and try to have compassion as much as possible. It's not how I always was. I'm very black and white, right and wrong. It was
You and
through the
I are
last
very similar.
100%, but it was through the last 3 years of my life that Barb and some of the other therapists that I've worked with and talked to have said, like, focus on oneness, focus on the whole piece of puzzle, not left, right, right, wrong. And so I can only imagine how hard it is for you to have people stare at you. But I wonder how much of that is simply because people are reminded of how fragile life is, or maybe they're looking at you empathetically, or sympathetically, or maybe they say, that scares me because I realize that that could happen to me, so maybe it's not a shame or a judgment. If anything, it's just life itself that is befalling them in those moments. Not to take away from the point of yours, I just wanted to share that thought.
No, and I would concur, and I think that's why I treat a lot of that like white noise now.
Mm,
My initial exposure was, they're looking at me like a freak,
yeah.
and now I purposely engage with people, right?
Hmm.
Um, let's say I go to the mall, right, and there's kids selling cookies or chocolate for their groups out front. In Langford here, it's almost every weekend, right? Because for the last couple of months, because they're trying to raise money for their ball teams and stuff like that. So they selling Krispy Kreme donuts for $20. So I'll say, I'll give you $20. I only want one donut and I want to talk to you from it, right? And you have to agree that you're each going to eat a donut while we talk. And someone will always, one of the kids will always say, how come you're in a wheelchair? And that's when I talk about shallow water diving. And I'll say, whatever you do, okay? Spring is here. I know you want to go swimming in lakes and stuff like that.
Mm,
I'm in a wheelchair because I dove in shallow water. Okay. I hurt my neck. I need you to promise me you'll never dive in the water that you've never been in before. You always jump in feet first, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of embrace it now and use it as a tool. And when they're staring at me, I'll engage with them openly, right? Like,
Mhm.
as opposed to get me out of here. Now I turn it around and I engage with them.